This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build your brand online. When you think of Bali, what comes to mind? You might think of beaches, monkeys, temples, especially that guy who uses a mirror to take your photo, or that tour guide who knows all the best poses when you're at the waterfalls. Maybe it's the surfing, rice terraces, or traditional dances. Whatever it is that comes to mind, Bali has a warm, inviting culture and so many sights and activities to experience. I was fortunate enough to spend 2 weeks across several areas of the main island, with 4 nights in Seminyak, 3 nights in Nusa Dua, 2 nights in Canggu, 2 nights in Ubud, and 1 night in Kuta. Before I get into what we did in each area, here are some things you should know as you prepare for your trip. Download Gojek and Grab to get rides on cars and scooters. Consider taking probiotics for a couple of weeks before your trip. I was also told to use bottled water to brush my teeth, and that's what I did and didn't get sick during our trip. You can get a SIM card upon arrival at the airport, so no worries if you don't have time to plan for that before you leave. If you can, work with your accommodation to arrange a car so you don't have to worry about calling one when you arrive. It's one less thing to manage after a long journey. And finally, you can exchange some money at the airport. Don't feel pressured to exchange a lot of money right away because I didn't notice a large range in the exchange rates, and a lot of places accept credit cards as well. Now that we've covered those overall tips, let's head to the first location of our trip, which was Seminyak. Day 1 in Bali. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go check out the beach and get a massage. Just have a bit of a relaxing day for our first full day here. We stayed at the Courtyard, which was an all-around solid hotel for the price. They had a great breakfast buffet, large pool, decently sized rooms, and a free shuttle service to the beach with a designated area for hotel guests. It's not directly on the beach, so it's on like a little patio here, but the beach is right there. And then these other beach chairs are for like a different company, but this area that we're in is free, and we get free towels and free bottled water, and then the shuttle service was free, so this is great. Even without the shuttle service, the beach was walking distance, which was great for my marathon training. In terms of things to do in Seminyak, there are plenty of restaurants, spas, surfing schools, and some beach clubs. We also hired a driver to take us on a day trip to the GWK Cultural Park and El Cabron Beach Club in Uluwatu. All right, we're at this GWK Cultural Park. Everyone keeps referring to this as the big statue. You will see how freaking big this statue is, but I've never heard of this place until just different drivers have been asking us if we wanted to go see it, because I guess it's a big attraction here. We just took a free shuttle from the parking lot up to the ticket counter area, which is behind me, and then now we can buy a ticket to enter the park, and then also you can pay extra for a buggy up to the statue. I don't know if you can appreciate just how big this is. Like when I look up at it, I kind of feel like I'm getting vertigo. Let's go. I was so excited to go to beach clubs in Bali, and while El Cabron was really pretty and I really enjoyed the atmosphere, it was like a literal club. The music was so loud. It started off okay and just increased until sunset, so that was the only unpleasant thing about it. I will also say that if you are not drinking alcohol, then it's gonna be really, really difficult to meet the food minimum, and so you're gonna just have to be like eating a lot throughout the day, or you might even have to buy some merch to meet the minimum for your daybed. Otherwise, the views and vibes were great. In regards to drivers, we used Gojek and Grab for quick trips, like from our hotel to a restaurant, but for longer excursions, we would try to find local drivers. There is no shortage of drivers simply driving around, honking and looking for work. All you need to do is stop one of them, talk to them about what you're looking to do, and ask them about their pricing. We ended up paying about $40 to $50 for 10 hours. Ultimately, I was really glad we spent our first 4 nights in Seminyak because it gave us time to settle in after our long flight and even do some laundry at a local spot. $3? $2? $3.50 before heading to our next location, Nusa Dua. Nusa Dua was like a vacation within a vacation. This town is basically a strip of resorts along the coast. You've got St. Regis, Conrad, Kempinski, you name it. We decided to treat ourselves to 3 nights at the Ritz-Carlton Bali, which turned out to be about $350 a night. For that price, the resort was a great deal because you can't even get a tiny hotel room in New York for $350 a night. And from the moment we stepped into the lobby, I just felt all of my worries melt away. The hotel grounds were peaceful and had a pool, beach access, restaurants, and activities like yoga. The hospitality and service is great all across Bali in my experience, but it was especially on point at the Ritz-Carlton. On one of our days, we went out to visit the art museum, the Bali Collection shopping mall, and some other sites in the area as well. We also checked out the hotel next door, the Kempinski, and ate at their hot pot restaurant, and it was fun to check out another luxury hotel because this is not a common experience for us. And out of all the massages we got on our trip, our favorite was at Rose Hill Spa, which is just a short walk away from the Ritz-Carlton. It was the best massage and experience for the money, so definitely recommend if you're in the area. I had a great experience in this area, and if you're looking for luxury, calm, and quiet, then Nusa Dua is the place for you. And now we go from the peaceful resorts of Nusa Dua back to the west coast to Canggu. Anytime we told a server, a taxi driver, or anyone else in Nusa Dua that we were heading to Canggu next, they laughed and said to prepare for a lot of traffic. So we braced ourselves for a congested, hectic area, and I think we still weren't prepared. We only stayed in Canggu for 2 nights because we were just meeting some friends who happened to be in Bali for a wedding at the same time. Because they were in a big group, they rented an amazing villa. If you're going to Bali with a bunch of people, a villa is going to be such a good deal for your money. After hanging out at their villa, we went to Atlas Beach Club, which was such a fun experience. There was music, dancing, beach access, pools, food, drinks, and beautiful views, and we just had an amazing time with friends. Hotel-wise, we stayed at the White Goose Boutique Hotel, which was just down the block from Atlas. This was convenient because, again, getting around Canggu can be tough. I think our friend's villa was about a 40-minute drive away because of how small and indirect the roads are. My personal experience in Canggu was mixed because I had so much fun at Atlas Beach Club, but was pretty stressed out by all the traffic. However, if you are staying in Canggu for a longer period of time, you can rent a scooter or check out a lot more in the area, as well as more local spots. So I think you could have a better experience. Next up in our journey is Ubud, which is located in the central foothills of the island. This is where you might go for temples, rice terraces, and waterfalls. So we've just arrived in Ubud. It's just such a different feel here compared to Canggu, where we just were. Canggu was very crowded, very trafficy. Here it's just like I already feel more at peace. We stayed at our first and only villa not far from central Ubud called the Kailas. This was a decent spot with a private pool, which we didn't end up using. On our first full day here, we went to Alas Harum, which is sort of like a theme park of Ubud sites and activities. We started at the pool club called Kretia, where we spent the morning and early afternoon lounging, eating, and admiring the views of the rice terraces. If you want a day bed, you will have to book in advance, and definitely try to do this further in advance rather than later so that they don't run out of spots. I would also recommend doing an earlier time slot because there is not much coverage from the sun, and it started to get really hot in the afternoon. The complex also has these large swings, and some people rent dresses so that they can take pretty photos. I opted out of the photos, and I think they swung me higher and further because of it, but honestly it was such a fun experience. In Ubud, we also visited the Ritz-Carlton Reserve for some afternoon tea, took in some more beautiful views, and just reflected on our time in this beautiful island. On our final day in Ubud, we rode some jungle buggies, which was super fun, but also super dusty. I like to think that all my years of playing Mario Kart as a kid paid off. We've got one more night left, and if you're enjoying this guide so far, please give this video a thumbs up and check out my blog post, which has all the details in this video, plus links and more info. I also want to thank Squarespace for not only helping me create beautiful travel guides for all my favorite places, but also for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build your brand online. From blogs to portfolios to online shops, everything you need is in one place. With a huge catalog of templates to choose from, it's easy to create a beautiful website. If you sell products or offer services, Squarespace has tools to accept payments, create listings, and manage appointments. And whatever type of website you create, you can use Squarespace's analytics tools to learn about what your audience is interested in and help you connect with them better. I have been a Squarespace user and fan for years and truly think there's no easier way to build a great website. So if you're interested in trying Squarespace, go to squarespace.com/kchoy for a free trial. And when you're ready, use the code KCHOY to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, check out my website for my Bali travel guide and more travel guides. And thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Our final stop was at Kuta, which was really just to be close to the airport. Kuta, to me, is like the Vegas or maybe even the Nashville of Bali. There are lots of tourists, lots of chain restaurants, and lots of bars with live singing for some reason, which is where the Nashville part comes in. Hotel-wise, we stayed at the Fairfield, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but it was one night, affordable, and a 5-minute drive to the airport. So that was our Bali trip and all the things that I learned and experienced along the way. I'm not sure when I'll be around that side of the world again because it is pretty far from the States, but Bali is a place I would love to visit again. There are so many parts of the island that I didn't get to see, such as North Bali and the Gili Islands, which I have heard are beautiful. I'm so grateful to all the kind people we met during our trip. Everyone was so friendly and proud to share about their culture, and it was fun to fully unplug from work and spend 2 weeks in a completely different place. I'm always going to have fond memories of Bali and hope you get to make some memories there too. If you made it to the end of this video, you're a real one. And as always, thanks for watching.